Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to this virtual presentation of the Nipmuc Regional High School New Student and Freshman Orientation. I'm John Clements. I'm one of the co-principals here at Nipmuc Regional High School.
And I'm Marianne Moran. I'm the other co-principal here at Nipmuc.
Earlier today, we had the chance to welcome our students back on campus as well as parents. We know this is an exceptionally busy time, so we wanted to take the chance to share out some of the highlights in a brief presentation, giving you an overview of what we talked about at orientation today. First things first, we want to say how excited we are to have our students coming back to campus, and we want to recognize how what an exciting time this is for our students as they begin their high school journey. This is now my 23rd year here at the school, my 18th as an administrator, and my 11th as principal. Love this school for the community, the talented teachers, the kids who are dedicated and open-minded and take chances, the community support. And this really does feel like a home away from home. We're excited to welcome your students to this home, to this community, and look forward to being a partner with you throughout their years here at school.
Great. Like John, I've been here for quite a few years. This is my 18th year at Nipmuc and is 11th as an administrator. And as you mentioned, we're thrilled to welcome the kids back. We spent a lot of time over the course of the summer planning and preparing, and there's nothing more exciting to us than the first day of school when we get to welcome a new set of students as freshmen and students from other schools and districts as well to our school community. Today,
we know that you have seen many presentations over the course of the past 18 months, so we're looking to keep this short, but please know that we are available at any time should you have questions or need some follow-up information.
Great. Today we had the help of our student council members. So thank you to all of our STUCO members who are here today. Our team was led by Rebecca Tabakin, who's our student council president, and Michael Flanagan, who worked to design a program that led students and parents throughout our building on building tours, answered their frequently asked questions, and gave them some insight into the student experience here at Nipmuc. If you weren't able to come today and miss the tour, please know that our building is open every day from 7:30 to 3, and you're more than welcome to stop by, walk the building with your student, and learn more about the halls and the classrooms at Nipmuc. We were also joined today by our amazing school counseling team. You'll see on the screen in front of you each of our school counselors as well as our school adjustment counselor. We have 3 school counselors here. Your student will have the same school counselor over the course of their 4 years here with us. So you see Ms. Town, Mrs. Swenson, Ms. Hafez. So every student is assigned one of those counselors. And then Ms. Fagan, who's our school adjustment counselor, who works with so many of our students over the course of their time here. We're thrilled to have them all as part of the team. You can obviously follow them on social media, but know that you'll be connecting with them and the students will be connecting with them over their journey with us.
In addition to those guests, we were also really thrilled to have Dr. Cohen join us today. And this is our first chance really to officially congratulate her in her role as interim superintendent of schools. We were fortunate for 10 years to have Dr. Nipmuc in the role of superintendent. He did so much to help our district move forward. For the past 8 years, standing right beside him, Dr. Maureen Cohen has been a critical part of our district's leadership. Everything from driving curriculum, coming up with our innovative programming, budget development, you name it, she's been a part of it. And so as we wish Dr. M best wishes on his new adventure, we also feel a great sense of gratitude to have Dr. Cohen taking over, someone who knows the district so well and is committed to the leadership of our school. So we're thrilled to have her there today. One of the first things she talked about was the student experience in Nipmuc, and having her years of experience in the district, I think she's come to appreciate how much we lean on our kiddos in order to be leaders of their own learning. And as we started today, we talked about that, where their path is going to lead them. We have this shot of our graduates from just a few months ago when the class of 2021 was graduating. And when we met with our students, we talked about how 4 years ago, they were in the same position. They were seated in the seats at Nipmuc with butterflies, a little bit of worry, and also a whole lot of excitement about what was going to come in the years to come. And now as their September is approaching, they're getting ready for colleges and universities, jobs, careers, armed services. And we're super proud of them. And we felt privileged to be part of their journey. And we're so privileged to be part of your students' journey through school as well. So as we welcome the class of 2025, we think ahead of to the day when they are going to have their caps and gowns on and of all the excitement that they're going to experience in their years with us at the school.
Great. At orientation today, our hope was to give some insight into learning life and opportunities at Nipmuc. Hard to capture everything when we obviously don't have all of our students back in the building yet in a short 2 hours we spent with students and families. But our hope is we'll give a quick overview in this presentation of some of the things we talked about, answer a few questions that you may have about logistics coming into the first day, but don't hesitate to reach out if there's something in this presentation that we miss or you'd like to learn more about. We are always welcome to phone calls and emails and visits from students and parents.
As we started, we talked a little bit about, what's our job as a school and how are we going to support our students? We recognize one of our main commitments is to make sure that we provide strong academic programming that provides door opening experiences for students in their life beyond high school. And we were really excited to share some of the achievements and accomplishments of the school, from the growing AP program that when we look back a year ago at our scores, we were able to note out in our advanced placement courses, which essentially are the most challenging classes we can offer here in a high school environment that earn credit at the college level. We were able to have the highest achievement that we had in the past 10 years. And if you look back and turn the clock back 10 years ago, we had the same achievement, but 100 less students taking our test, which means that in this journey of the past decade that we've been on, we've seen more and more students taking on challenges, being successful, and being prepared for life beyond school, which we're really excited about. We talked about how we're ranked in the top 7% of all United States high schools by US News and World Report, and how we have this commitment to provide strong MCAS experience in preparation for things like PSAT and SAT. We also, however, wanted to take time to note, though, that while that is a huge part of what it means to be a successful school, it's not at all the most important thing. And our teachers are phenomenal at helping students to tap into their strengths and their interests in order to provide learning that really aligns with our beliefs about learning. You can see here on the slide that we really do believe that all of our learners have the potential to be inspired by that true sense of purpose. And that's a big part of our work here at Nipmuc Regional. Last year, we were fortunate to be a Kaleidoscope Collective for Learning school. What that means is it's a program run by the Massachusetts Department of Education, in which they selected 2 high schools from across the state out of a very competitive field in order to take part in the challenging work of designing deeper learning experiences. That's learning that goes beyond the surface level, learning that inspires, learning that can be a life changer. Nipmuc had the chance to work with a cohort of schools, and we were really proud to be one of the few high school representatives in order to design deeper learning experiences that can be shared with schools across the state and scaled to students across the Commonwealth, helping to take the kind of learning that we really take pride in here at Nipmuc and share it with students all across our state.
Great. So thinking about that same belief statement, when we believe every learner is unique, inquisitive, and as John said, inspired by a true sense of purpose, we think about what that then looks like at Nipmuc Regional High School and how it's embedded in the learning experiences of our students. So on the screen in front of you, you see 3 key phrases that we focus on a lot here. The first one is agency. And when we think of agency, we think about giving students voice and choice. We recognize that, in education, if each of our learners is unique, we must give them opportunities to take their interests outside of school and within school and pair those with their passions and figure out kind of what that looks like for them and make that learning meaningful. We talk about inquiry, and when we say inquiry, we say think about deep inquiry. So we're talking about learning that sticks, not learning for the next test or the next assessment or just for a project, but really digging into something and doing the research and the authentic work that connects their learning to previous learning and creates opportunities and moments that become powerful for our students in their work ahead. And finally, the idea of real work that matters. And when we talk about this, we talk a lot about authentic learning. What does that look like for our kids? What are the skills and competencies that our students need connected with the curriculum in order to be successful beyond Nipmuc? So we talk about connections to professionals, both in and outside of the classroom, job shadows, internships, and engaging in that deep inquiry in the classroom that is working on real world problems.
So when you think of that agency, inquiry, and real work that matters, that really happens in the classroom in 1,000 different ways. And we can't wait for you to hear about the projects your kids are working on. to experience some of the learning and get excited with them, because the classroom learning experiences that extend beyond the classroom in order to make an impact on their lives are really awesome. So we can't wait for you to connect with the teachers at open house and see what your students are working on. We did want to highlight a few other ways that are more school-wide options for students to share their voice, engage in these learning experiences, and really shape them. So we have a few things we wanted to point out here. First, on the upper left of the screen, you see Wellness Weeks. Wellness Weeks are run by our health and wellness team. They take place twice a year, and they're opportunities for our students and our staff to focus on learning wellness strategies that they learn in a week and they apply the other 51 weeks of the year. It's exciting because we bring in community partners, we have students leading sessions, and we're focusing not only on how to get your work done or be more effective in your responsibilities, but how to be healthy, safe, comfortable, and well throughout all of that work. So you'll hear about Wellness Weeks, and we hope to see more student-run sessions for Wellness Weeks coming up this year. Right in the center of your screen, you see Inspired Learning Days. These are now district-wide, so you may be familiar with Inspired Learning Days already. Essentially, they're days where we throw away our schedule and get rid of the typical classes and replace it with learning, lessons, workshops, activities that our kids are requesting. Things they're passionate about and things they're curious about. They're built through school-wide brainstorming sessions, and they give our students the chance to pursue interests that maybe wouldn't come up in a typical school day. Over in the upper right-hand corner, you see the Portrait of a Learner Scholars Program. The past 2 years, we've had more than 60 students learn the Portrait of a Learner skills. These are the 6 skill areas that our district has decided are key for students to be successful in life beyond Nipmuc. So while that's a big picture concept, we were looking for a way to make it very practical. And by having the Portrait of a Learner Scholars Program, what we did is we created 2 classes of students who went through the process of reflecting on their strengths, identifying their curiosities, figuring out what they're passionate about, and creating a profile that really tells their story in a meaningful and powerful way. You'll be seeing these shared out frequently throughout the fall through social media and our school newsletter. We know you're going to be as inspired as we were by them. What we're especially excited about this year, however, is that all of our freshmen are going to have the chance to create one of these profiles, learning how to tell their story, how to tap into their story, and how to uncover their curiosities and their passions. So we can't wait for you to learn about that. Food for Thought lunches are a staple here at Nipmuc that take place every 2 weeks. There are times when small groups of students get together with 2 to 3 teachers, as well as Mrs. Moran and myself, and we tackle some of the big questions about school, about what can make it better for them, what's on their mind, what we can do to support them in their learning journey. We capture all of their feedback, find the themes, and then use that information in order to make adjustments to our school so that we stay a dynamic, always learning, growing organization. Right in the middle, our lead learner workshops. Our first one of these is going to be held in the end of September. These are our school's most important leadership opportunities. They're open to any teacher in the school and any student in the school. We regularly have an equal mix of students and teachers coming together in order to tackle the work that shapes the course of the future of learning at our school. It's a great way to get involved, and it really emphasizes the point that when you are here, whether you're a freshman, a veteran faculty member, administrator, whoever you may be, your voice matters, and you have the chance to help shape the future of learning for Nipmuc. Last one over there we're excited to bring back is Lunch and Learns. Lunch and Learns are opportunities for our students who have really well-developed skills and interests and talents to share that with other members of our community. So we've had students who have shared on genealogy in their work and studies in their own family. We've had students who have shared on American Sign Language. We've given them a platform by which they're taking the thing they care about most and share it out with their friends, with other students, and with our teachers. So great opportunities for students to get involved, really practical school-wide ways for students to begin to use their voice to shape what happens here at Regional.
That's great. And I know a lot of opportunities were mentioned by Mr. Clements. I think the important thing is for students and parents to pay attention to newsletters and check your emails, because as those opportunities come about, we will definitely be communicating, have Google Forms to sign up, and we want to hear your voice. We want you to be a part of it. We wanted to talk today a little bit too about getting involved as we talk to our upperclassmen, and students who were in attendance today probably heard it, and parents too, about advice that they would have for incoming students. I think this is the most frequently given advice from our current students, is to get involved. And some people wait to get involved later in their high school career, but some people jump right in. And that's our expectation of you, is that you'll jump right in and get involved. The screen in front of you, you see our business and marketing department. They're wearing DECA shirts. That's the name of the club here at Nipmuc. And when we talk about authentic opportunities, DECA is a great way to expand your skills and be involved beyond the classroom. But we encourage all students to get involved, pick a club or activity. I said to the students today, over the course of your years, you'll figure out quickly that in high school, we don't necessarily always sort students by grade 9, 10, 11, 12. What you'll find once you get here, and some people already have through athletics, is that you start to surround yourself with people with common interests. So finding those common interests, finding the things that are of interest to you, with it, whether it's athletics, whether it's DECA, whether it's clubs and activities, student travel. There are so many ways to get involved and so many opportunities to connect with people who have similar interests as those that you have. One of the exciting things we do at Nipmuc is usually middle to end of September, we hold a club activities fair. That first picture from DECA was the cookout that we hold in our courtyard. DECA puts on a school-wide cookout. But we hold a club activities fair where every student-led group puts together a booth or a table where they are able to help recruit new members. So new students and freshmen will walk through those clubs and activity fair and be able to learn more about the opportunities that are available to them at Nipmuc. We challenge everyone to pick at least one thing to try, everything from ping pong club to drama to debate club to video gaming clubs. We have it all. And if we don't have it, you can start your own club here too. It's a matter of getting friends or some students with similar interests, a faculty advisor, and then we pull together new clubs and activities. But I would say there's so much to be excited about at Nipmuc. We talked a little bit about academics, and that's probably your focus, is your classes and what's going to happen. But please know we recognize that the student experience in high school is so much a part of the journey as well. So keep your eyes peeled to your email, to the newsletters. Everything from fast competitions to homecoming weekend to Nipmuc concerts. There's a lot going on, and we're excited to welcome you to everything that makes Nipmuc what it is.
As Mrs. Moran said, the best way to stay connected is to look for that newsletter that's going to come out. You'll find it landing in your inbox every single Monday, and it provides all kinds of information about the opportunities we've just shared and so much more. You'll also see included in there what we call our dinner time conversations. These are questions that are intended to be talked about over dinner with your family. They're meant to be conversation starters that will give you some more insight into what's going on with our students every single week here at Nipmuc. So they're connected to the big picture work that's going on, our inspired learning days, clubs, activities, opportunities. But we know that sometimes it can be challenging to find out exactly what happened when you asked the question, what did you do at school today? So those questions are going to be a nice way for you to sort of have a door opener to talk about some of the work that's going on here at Nipmuc. In addition to the newsletter, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Nipmuc Regional as our handle. While our newsletter will contain every update that we provide, we'll also use the social media feeds in order to highlight some of that information, including information about athletics or some of the portrait of the learner scholar profiles. So we encourage you to check out those and follow us on whatever platform you're most comfortable with.
Great. Another way to stay connected is our Nipmuc Principals blog. So when we post information that's more than just a news update, we typically update our Principals blog. You'll see at the top, there's some tabs up there, the blog, news and info, our roadmap, lexicon, calendar. There's plenty of ways to stay connected there and information that we update regularly, but we will usually send an email that has a link out to Nipmuc Principals, but you can get there directly as well by going to nipmucprincipals.com. Finally, we wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about logistics as well. We won't be able to cover everything, but wanted to share some key information that's probably on the minds of our students and our parents. So we wanted to share with you our bell schedule. So this might look a little different than a schedule you had in middle school or your last school. So essentially, students are enrolled in 7 classes. You'll see classes A through G listed on the screen in front of you. And the important things to note is that students meet with 5 classes each day. So A, B, C, D, E meet on the first day. And the 2 classes that students don't see start off their next day. So on day 2 starts with F block and G block, and then continues to rotate in that fashion over the 7-day cycle. The best way to stay connected as to what day of the cycle we're on is to subscribe to our Google Calendar, which was also available in Nipmuc Principals. Students or parents can add it in, and it will just merge on top of your Google Calendar to always keep you up to date. But the first day of school, which is September 1st, will be a day 1. So students will be starting in A block. Students did not receive their schedules today. Our school counselors, I said they were amazing earlier. They have been hard at work over the course of the last week to build a master schedule and put students in classes and fulfill student requests. So they shared today, they think it's going to be done by Thursday of this week. So our hope is we get that out to students and families. We will email and post on social media when that is ready. Please know that Power School access at the moment is turned off while counselors are working on the schedule at both MISCO and Nipmuc. But as soon as we send the information that the schedule is available, we will open those accounts back up as well. Our school day runs from 7:30 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know there's been some recent district communications about school days and extending school days. The Nipmuc school day has not changed at all. We've always been 7:30 to 2 o'clock. We're required to go to school for 990 hours at the high school level, and we've met that time on learning. So there was no need to adjust our schedule in any way. So while that has been put out there as our time of day, that hasn't shifted at all. Wanted to talk briefly too about the first day of school. It's probably on your mind as well as your students' mind. So wanted to talk through some logistics. So our school day, as I just mentioned, starts at 7:30. Students should plan to arrive between 7:10 and 7:15. If they're taking a bus, they will absolutely be here on time. Bus routes can be found on the district website, and they were also emailed to families, so you can check those. If you are dropping your child off at school, or they're getting a ride from a sibling, or they're driving themselves, they should plan to be here again by 7:10, 7:15. The expectations is that students are in their classrooms by 7:25 as we begin our school day at 7:30. There are no back to school supply lists that have been published. The way we handle it at the high school is we give students a week to settle into their classes. Teachers will communicate directly with students if there's any particular supplies that they need for their class, but most often teachers are helping students figure out kind of how to organize with folders or notebooks or different types of pens and highlighters that makes the most sense for individual students. But they'll have that information coming home within that first week of school if there is anything that they do need to receive. We are excited that lunches and breakfasts are free again this year to our students. So the federal grant has been continued for another school year. So we have brown bag breakfast available to all students in the morning. And then lunch, we just ask students fill out a form to pre-order their lunch so we can be sure we have enough ready, but lunches will be free for students as well. And finally, end of the day, we've had some questions about parent pickup or getting home at the end of the day. That day ends at 2 o'clock. So at 2 o'clock, all of our students are dismissed at the same time. So our upperclassmen who tend to drive to school will head out to the parking lot, get in their cars and leave at that point. Students taking the bus will report directly to their buses. Mr. Clements and I will be out near the buses on the first day to help students locate their bus. Buses typically come in the same order, but they line up in front of the school in the driveway. So we'll help students get to their buses. And if you're a parent picking up your student, you can pick them up anytime from 2 o'clock on. There's not a rush to be the first in line, they're more than welcome to stay till 2:10, 2:15, if that's the time you're arriving, but you come right into that circle in the front of the building, and your students will come out to you as soon as they're ready. So if you're struggling to locate your student, probably text messaging with them if they have a phone is the best way. You're obviously more than welcome to park and come into school if you needed that. But we ask that you just connect with your students and have plans for the end of the day. Sometimes students do stay after with teachers, although it's not typical in the first couple days of school. Students can make plans with their teachers to get extra help, and then parents can just make arrangements for their child to be picked up. We do not have a late bus. What am I missing for first day of school stuff, Mr. Clements?
Well, I think you covered it, and anything that you didn't cover, maybe we'll include on a frequently asked question sheet that we'll be sending out as part of this presentation. Includes a number of questions that come up, and it's a reference. You can print it, put it on the fridge, and reference it as you need to. But know too that we're available at any time should you have questions and want to follow back up with us. We're here. We're looking forward to welcoming students next week. First day is September 1st for our students, and we can't wait to have them on back here at school.
Great. And just a reminder, if you weren't there today, our building is open. So you're more than welcome to swing by, say hello, do a quick tour of the school on your own. You're more than welcome to be here and make your way around if that helps before the first day of school. But other than that, we're excited to welcome you on the first day. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you. And see you on September 1st.